Hi, we are here today with bass player, studio engineer, and producer Charlie Chadwick. Charlie plays all kinds of basses, fretless, upright, electric, and plays all kinds of music, all styles of music. He has worked with artists such as Pam Tillis, Susie Boggess, Lee Ann Womack, Crystal Gayle, Leon Russell, all kinds of people.
I can't keep a job.
So tell us how you got started playing the bass.
Just a friend of mine had got a guitar from his mom, and with blue chip stamps, for those old enough to remember those, and he decided to start a band, so he needed a bass player.
Okay.
We were friends in high school. He asked me, and I said, I don't know any chords. And he said, oh, no, it's bass, it's easy, just play one note at a time.
Okay.
I thought, that's probably pretty cool. So I just got a bass at the local, music store, and we started a band. We were miserable. Learned to play House of the Rising Sun and Fever and a couple of easy tunes, and we thought we were pretty cool.
Cool. Charlie, tell us how you got hooked up with such major recording artists.
It's a bit of a luck.
Okay.
Because it's really who you know. It's actually there are really no general calls. It won't be in a big audition.
Right.
You live in town, you meet these people, you know them, you'll jam and stage here and there, and you get to know each other, and they like your playing. They say, hey, we need someone to play this gig. It's no different than a wedding band gig, except that the stakes are a little higher, and the kind of the requirements for the gig are as much personal and attitudinal as they are musicians' ability. So I might play a gig with someone where there's 30 bass players, plenty qualified to play the gig.
Sure.
The reason you're hired is because I like hanging out with you. We spend a lot of downtime in the bus and rehearsing and all that sort of thing. So if, it's really about the hang. And you've got to be the kind of person that when we got a bus call at 7:30 in the lobby, you're there at 7:30. And so it's more personal qualities that lead to that, actually. And of course, the ability to play and to perform under duress. Anybody can get together and on a good night sound pretty good. But can you always sound good? Yeah. You got a part to play. You don't feel like you got a headache. You're thinking about problems at home. You got to get up and do the job. And that's a discipline that not all musicians have developed. And when you have that ability, then you enter the ranks of professional. That's what a professional is. We do it on demand. Otherwise, it's the same gig as any other gig. Yeah. And a lot of players forget about that. You go to your gig, your wedding gig, or you go to your, you play a brunch gig in the morning, you think, oh, that's just some stupid gig. No, they all count. Yeah. You get there on time, you play well, you have a good attitude, and then you're developing the talents that will lead to better gigs for you.
Well, Charlie, tell us why you came up with the idea of the folding bass.
Oh, I'm a traveling upright bass player, and there is no product on the market that's a truly acoustic bass that travels.
Okay.
And so I didn't think it was that big a deal. I mean, I figured, well, maybe just saw the neck off and then put it back on when you get to the gig.
Okay.
Seemed like a reasonable solution, and it isn't. The bass doesn't sound as good, it's a lot of trouble, and then things like strings can get tangled. So I fixed little things and kept adjusting my neck that came off the bass till finally I abandoned the whole thing. I thought it'd make more sense if it just stayed on. But then I didn't know where to put, I don't know, I kept thinking, it's little bitty steps. I kept thinking little bitty things like, how do you keep the ball ends from coming out of the tailpiece?
Sure.
Oh, that's a big problem. Spent a couple days on that. So anyway, just little solutions that eventually led to something that can be set up in 2 minutes, has no tools, and it's a fully acoustic bass when you get done.
That's great.
And that surprised the heck out of me. First one I cut up, I didn't know what it sounded like. I cut it up, put it together, go, wow, this works. Otherwise, I just ruined a perfectly good bass. But I would try it. That's just my temperament. If I think it's going to work, I'll jump in. So we're assuming we just got to our gig. We're at sound check. Guitar player's pulling his pedal board out. Fiddle player's taking his fiddle out of the case. The idea of the bass was to make this so that you weren't taking any longer than any other musician to get set up and ready to go. All right. So the process begins by lifting the back panel off. You might notice there's no tools involved here. And it was my idea that a tool would require more time to use and also be something you might leave behind. I'll turn this around so you can see what I'm doing. The fingerboard snaps on. Thinking about having a bass player setting up folding bass Olympics pretty soon. I got some guys out there that can do it pretty quickly, and I'm going to see who's got the best speed. Maybe make a grand prize, a new set of bass strings or something. So all you guys out there trying to beat this time, this is not my fastest. And then all that's left is to put the back on, which is done without any tools. And tune her up. And about this time, the guitar player's still plugging in.
Well, I understand that you play with the Hot Club of Nashville. Tell us about that group.
Band was started by Richard Smith about maybe 6 years ago now, and we never rehearse, and we just get together and play once a month. We did that for about 4 years at the Station Inn, and various guitar players would play in that. Pat Bergeson's been a long-term member. John Jorgenson played, and Bryan Sutton. Stuart Duncan, a fiddle player, and Aaron Till plays with us. Sometimes we have drums, sometimes mostly not. I'm usually the bass player if I'm in town. And we bow somewhat to Django Reinhardt, a great gypsy jazz guitar player, but we put our Nashville slant on it. So there's a lot of eighth notes, but for the most part, it's free, crazy stuff. Django would hate it, I'm sure, but we play in the gypsy jazz style. Cool.
Well, Charlie, we are in your home studio. Tell us about the stuff that goes on down here.
Well, we're in Nashville, and there's thousands of these. Every musician I know has got one.
Of course.
It's in the basement, of course. And it's more of a disease than a vocation. It's been spreading. Started out in a little room behind that door, and I've taken over the whole bottom floor of the house now. And what we do here, I started making my wife's records, Lori McLean. We have we work together occasionally, but most part, she's a folk singer, plays by herself, and we made records together. And rather than go to another studio, I figured, well, if I get a microphone, I can, you know, set up and track it. And then it just got out of control, and it's horrible. There's no cure. But a lot of us do this in Nashville, and I've actually got a Grammy in my studio for engineering a Peter Frampton song. You don't know what's going to walk through the door.
Oh, yeah. Stuff
just happens. I have some of the best players in the world have played my little basement here, helped me make records.
Cool. Charlie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. It's a pleasure as always.
Your pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much.